Good morning, Britain. Schools reopen in Scotland from today. What lessons have been learnt to keep pupils and staff safe? And what can top Scotland teach the other home nations as they prepare to readmit children?
Donald Trump's been abruptly escorted out of a press briefing by a Secret Service agent after an armed suspect was shot outside the White House.
There was an actual shooting, and somebody's been taken to the hospital. I don't know the condition of the person. It seems that the person was shot by Secret Service. So we'll see what happens.
As the number of confirmed coronavirus cases around the world passes 20 million, we're debating if people under 40 should be exempt from COVID restrictions so they can develop natural immunity and the economy can recover. But what about those of us over 40? Let us know what you think.
And Kim Wilde joins us after 8 this morning, along with the man who wrote that song. Her own dad, Marty Wilde, will also be here. They'll be telling us about their new single, the first duet, can you believe that? The first duet they've released together.
After yesterday's torrential thunderstorms and flooding, there's a risk of more of the same yet again today. Hit and miss thunderstorms, where will they be and how hot will it get? All the details plus and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
Tuesday, 11th of August, 2020, live from Television Centre in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Kate Garraway and Adil Ray.
Good morning, Britain. It's 6 o'clock. Welcome to the show.
So excited about Kim Wilde and Marty Wilde.
Oh, amazing.
My era. Kids in America.
I know.
Oh, that hair.
I probably had a sort of crush on Kim Wilde.
What do you mean, probably?
Yeah,
I mean, it was
I can't remember
virtually
anymore.
the law in the 80s, wasn't it? To be in love with Kim Wilde. For heaven's sake.
I hope
For
we're doing all right.
heaven's
How did you sleep, by the way?
Terribly.
Right.
It was so hot
Yeah.
and muggy, wasn't it? Laura is nodding, by the way, as I'm saying this. As
How
though,
did Laura
yes,
know?
you
Was
would
she-
do.
I'm
How did
it's like
Laura
I'm
know you
watching
didn't
the
sleep very
show.
well? Hello.
Well, she's all across the weather, isn't she? Do you relish it when people moan about the weather and just say, I warned you?
I love it when people talk about the weather, and I love it when people say things like, oh, here's going to be thunderstorms later this week, and I think, they're listening, yippee! But yeah, it's still 22 degrees right now.
Yeah.
What, even now?
Warm,
What
even
is it,
right
2
now.
minutes past 6?
And this should be the coldest point of the day, so... Yeah, really, and it's the humidity that's really high. And actually, we could have record overnight temperatures either tonight or tomorrow night. So it's actually going to get hotter overnight in the next couple of
Yeah,
nights.
it's tough, isn't it? People don't-
Everyone's struggling. We need those kind of, tips, don't we, on how to say... I tried the old dipping the sheet in water. It does work a bit, but then you get a little bit sort of too chilly, don't you? And then you get too hot.
Or try and get a job with ITV and they put you in a hotel with air conditioning. So
I've got a job with ITV. They've never put me in a hotel with air conditioning. So I think the lesson maybe is get Adil's agent. I think that's the way
live
to go.
outside
isn't
of
it?
London. There's another world. Exactly.
you
So if
get
you travel
precious
from
treatment.
Birmingham, they're required to put you in a hotel with air conditioning. It's lovely.
And that's beautiful, isn't
I haven't
it?
told them I've had a house in Richmond for the last 5 years. No, I haven't.
That's the way to go. A lot of people suffering. If you really struggled last night, either because it was just hot or because it was thundery, a lot of people woken up by storms and thundery conditions, then let us know how you fared. And if you've got any tips as well, because we love the sunshine. We don't want the summer to end, but we're just trying to keep that balance, aren't we?
Help each other out with a few tips is always a good thing.
Along the way.
Yeah.
Now, our main news this morning, 700,000 children in Scotland will start returning to school from today. They'll find it different, though. One-way corridors, hand-washing stations and extra temporary classrooms to help keep youngsters as safe as possible from COVID-19.
Meanwhile, the Scottish Government will reveal today how it intends to put right an error which led to 125,000 exam results being downgraded. Juliet Dunlop is at a comprehensive school in St Andrews. Juliet, teachers and parents across the country will be watching closely about what happens in Scotland when pupils do return.
Yes, morning, Adil. That's right. Scotland, the first part of the UK to reopen schools after all of these months. classes finally back. It has been a very long and uncertain summer, but this is really a gradual reintroduction to school life because, well, things have changed. They have had to ensure the safety of staff and pupils. So yes, strict hygiene measures are in place. Lessons have had to change and pupils encouraged to stay apart as much as possible. More from some of the students and the head teacher here at Madras College in just a moment. But certainly in a week that has seen the First Minister have to apologise following an exams results fiasco, well, the Scottish Government needs to get this right. After 5 months at home, it's time to hang out the uniform ready for a new term. But Scottish pupils aren't sure what to expect.
I don't know how they're going to do our classes and stuff because, well, my school's quite popular. There's a lot of people that go to it, so I don't know how it's going to go.
It's time. They've got to get back to normality, these children. Got to.
But what will that new normality look like? There'll be a new school day with staggered start and finish times. In secondary schools, pupils will be told to avoid hugging and high fives. Teachers will keep 2 metres away and there will be no desk sharing. And teachers will wear face masks in some settings, though most pupils won't have to. Not all classrooms will be filling up today. Many schools are bringing students back in phases, but unions say their members are still worried.
We are continuing to discuss with Scottish Government the issues such as face coverings and potential proactive testing of teachers.
Just a step forward, everyone.
These are just some of the 1,400 new teaching recruits brought in by the Scottish Government at a cost of £75 million. But as Nicola Sturgeon reviewed the preparations, she's under pressure over exam results based on predicted grades. The moderation is said to have unfairly penalised star pupils at low-performing schools.
I had come to realise that the reason that I hadn't done as good was because of the area that I live in and my school's historical results.
Today, the Scottish Government will announce how the error will be fixed, while hoping that safely filling up these desks and corridors again goes a lot more smoothly. Well, let's chat now to the rector here at Madras College, Avril McNeill. Avril, I know a huge amount of work has gone into getting the school ready for this week, hasn't it?
Absolutely, Juliet. So staff have been working tirelessly during the summer holidays as well to make sure that schools are safe and ready to open next week. This week, however, we will have a soft start and an induction for young people by year group to make sure that they are safe, happy to return to school and to look at their well-being.
So the focus really on that emotional well-being and making sure they feel happy to be back?
Absolutely, allowing them to reconnect, allowing them to be reassured and to make sure that they are resetting and getting back into some sense of routine for return to school.
OK, so a really busy week for you, yes. Certainly. But let's chat now to some of the students here at the college. Tim, I'll come to you first. I mean, how do you feel about being back in school? It has been a very long time, hasn't it?
It'll obviously be very different to how it was before, but I'm excited to be able to see my friends again and really get stuck into learning for my advanced hires. OK, and Ailey, I know this is a big year for you, 5th year going into 6th year.
It's really, really important and we're all quite nervous to be back and after all this time that school's been cancelled, but it's going to be good. Hopefully we'll get some good results this year. Lucy, any last moment nerves for you?
Not really, I'm just excited to see all my friends and get back into school.
OK, Lewis, and I'm guessing you're pretty much feeling OK about being back too.
Yeah, you've just got to kind of have to get back into the routine, but it'll certainly be all right after a wee while. OK,
well, thank you very much indeed. So the thoughts of some of the students returning to school here in St Andrews this week, but clearly this is a very important week for schools right across Scotland, and the rest of the UK will be watching very closely indeed to see how things go in the coming weeks.
Juliet, thank you.
Actually, we want to know how you're feeling about it. If you're watching in Scotland and your youngsters are going back today or this week, are you feeling nervous about it? How do you feel in the rest of the UK about schools going back? We'd love to know what you think.
Yeah, get in touch. Now, the NHS...